process, varnashram. This, so first part is bhakti yoga, second part is this varnashram and other. So in that varnashram and this thing, first we have learned the duties of four varnas, then four ashramas. So in that ashramas, Brahmin, brahmachari, vanprasti, sannyasis were explained first, and then grihastha dharma were explained in a separate chapter. Ideal household. So that's what we were discussing. Okay, in between the duties of women also explained. Okay, now and the last chapter of this canto is in 15 instructions for civilized. Okay, so the summary of the 15th chapter is as follows. In the previous chapter, Sri Narada Muni proved the importance of Brahmin in society. Now in this chapter, he will show the difference between different grades of Brahmanas. Okay, different grades of. Among the Brahmanas, some are householders and are mostly attached to future activities or the betterment of social conditions. Above them, however, are Brahmanas who are much attracted by austerities and finances and who retire from family life. They are above. They are known as Vanprasthas. So first is Brahmanas, Grihastha, then Brahmanas, Vanprastha. Other Brahmanas are very much interested in studying the Vedas and explaining the purport of the Vedas to others. Such Brahmanas are called Brahmacharis, and still other Brahmanas are interested. So these are even higher. And then still other Brahmanas are interested in different types of yoga, especially Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Such Brahmanas are mostly sannyasis, members of the renounced order of life. Okay, so Brahmins, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Who is highest? Brahmin. And then Brahmins, the Grahastha Brahmins, then next level is higher level is Brahmins, who is Vanprasthi, then next is Brahmins, who is Brahmachari, and then Brahmin, who is Sannyasi. Okay. As far as householders are concerned, they engage in different types of spiritual activities, especially in offering oblations to their forefathers and giving as a charity to other Brahmanan. The paraphernalia engage in such sacrifices. Generally, the charity is given to sannyasis, brahmanas in the renounced order of life. If such a sannyasi is not available, the charity is given to brahmana householders engaged in their. So, who is actually sannyasi who left everything? For them, first charity should be given. If it is not available, facility to give them, then charity can be given to these brahmanas who are householders. One should not make very elaborate arrangements to perform the Shraddha ceremony of offering oblations to one's forefathers. The best process for the, yesterday we heard a lot of thing about Shraddha, right? So here it is said, it is one should not do too much arrangement for Shraddha, The best process for the Shraddha ceremony is to distribute Bhagavad Prasad, remnants of food that has first been offered to Krishna, to all of one's forefathers and relatives. This makes a first-class Shraddha ceremony. Okay, yesterday also we discussed. In the Shraddha ceremony, there is no need to offer meat or eat meat. Unnecessary killing of animals must be avoided. Those who are in the lower grades of society prefer to perform sacrifices by killing animals. But one who is advanced in knowledge must avoid such unnecessary violence. Brahmanas should execute their regulative duties in worshipping Lord Vishnu. Those who are advanced in knowledge of religious principles must avoid 5 kinds of irreligion. Okay, 5 kinds of irreligion must be avoided, known as Vidharma, Paradharma, Dharmabhas, Upadharma, and Chaladharma. One must act according to the religious principles that suit his constitutional position. It is not that everyone must adhere to some type of duty. A general principle is that a poor man should not unnecessarily endeavor for economic development. One who refrains from such endeavors but who engages in devotional service is most auspicious. Okay, so one must act according to the religious principles that should suit his constitutional position. It's not that everyone must adhere to the same type of whatever is your situation, according to that you should act. Okay, one who is not satisfied with the mind must fall to degradation. One must conquer lusty desires, anger, greed, fear, lamentation, illusion, pride, unnecessary talks on material subjects, violence, the four miseries of material existence, and the three material qualities. That is the objective of human life. One who has no faith in the spiritual master, who is identical with Sri Krishna, cannot get any benefit from reading Shastra. If there is no faith in Guru, one will not get any benefit from reading scriptures. So faith in the Guru must be there. Many people don't have Guru only, but they keep on reading many books. No use. And if there is no faith in the Guru, then also we will not get the benefit of reading scriptures. Okay, one may have this challenging mood or no faith when things like the Guru is not having enough knowledge. Let me check whether he knows the answer or whether he knows. Or sometimes suggesting Guru, I what you are saying is not right. What I am saying is right. You should tell like this. So not having full faith in Guru. Okay, if one who don't have faith in Guru, for them it is very difficult to understand Shastras. They cannot get any benefit from reading a Shastra. One should never consider the spiritual master an ordinary human being. Considering a spiritual master as an ordinary human being is a greatest offense. So one should never consider the spiritual master an ordinary human being, even though the members of the spiritual master's family may think of him as such. Okay, a spiritual master's family members may think that he is a normal person, but others should not think. Okay. Meditation and other processes of austerity are useful only if they help in advancement toward Krishna consciousness. And there are a lot of people who do yoga, meditation, dhyana, and this that. So meditation and other process of austerity, tapasya, yoga, whatever it is, are useful when only if they help in advancement toward Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, they are simply a waste of time and labor. People may go on doing so many austerities, tapasya, dhyana, yoga, and what and all. But if it is not helping in advancement of Krishna consciousness, then it is useless. Waste of time, energy, effort, labor. Okay, to the point here it is said very clearly. For those who are not devotees, such meditation and austerity cause fall down. Easy householder should be, every householder should be very careful, because even though a householder may try to conquer the senses, he becomes a victim to the association of relatives and falls down. Okay, thus a grasta must become a vanprastha or sannyasi, live in a secluded place and be satisfied with food gotten by begging from door to door. He must chant the Omkar mantra or Hare Krishna mantra, and in this way he will perceive transcendental bliss within himself. After taking sannyas, however, if one returns to grihastha life, he is called vantasi, which means one who eats his own vomit. Such a person is shameless. A householder should not give up the ritualistic ceremonies, and a sannyasi should not live in society. If a sannyasi is agitated by the senses, he is a cheater, influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance. When one assumes a role in goodness by starting philanthropic, and this is when one assumes a role in goodness by starting philanthropic and altruistic activities. Such activities become impediments. Such activity becomes impediments on the path of devotional service. Okay, doing so much charity and all these things also can become impediments in the path of devotional service. The best process for advancing in devotional service is to abide by the orders of the spiritual master, for only by his direction can one conquer the senses. Unless one is completely Krishna conscious, there is a chance of falling down. Of course, in performing ritualistic ceremonies and other fruitive activities, there are also many dangers at every moment. Fruitive activities have been divided into 12 portions. Because of performing fruitive activities means karma kanda, which are called the path of dharma. One has to accept the cycle of birth and death. But when one takes the path of moksha or liberation, which is described in Bhagavad Gita as archanamar, one can get relief from the cycle of birth and death. The Vedas describe these two paths as Pitrayana and Devayana. Those who follow the paths of Pitrayan and Devyan are never bewildered, even while in the material body. A monistic philosopher who gradually develops control of the senses understands that the objective of all different ashramas, the status of life is salvation. One must live and act according to Shastras. If one who is performing the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies becomes a devotee, even if he is a grasta, he can receive the causeless mercy of Krishna. The objective of a devotee is to return home back to God. Such a devotee, even though not performing ritualistic ceremonies, advances in spiritual consciousness by the supreme will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is that? The objective of a, even if a person is a grasta, but he is engaged in the devotional service. If a person, he can receive the mercy of Krishna. The objective of a devotee is to go back home back to God. Such a devotee, even though not performing ritualistic ceremony also, but his advancement in Krishna consciousness will happen. How? By the supreme will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Okay? One may actually become successful in spiritual consciousness by the mercy of devotees. Okay, how one can become successful in spiritual consciousness? By the mercy of devotees. Or one may fall from spiritual consciousness by being disrespectful to devotees. If one is getting mercy of devotee, he will advance very fast. If he disrespects devotee, then he will fall down. Okay. In this regard, Narad Muni narrated the history of how he had been fallen from the Gandharva kingdom, how he was born in a Shudra family, how by serving exalted Brahmanas, he became the son of Lord Brahma and was reinstated in his transcendental position. After narrating all these stories, Narad Muni praised the mercy received from the Lord by the Pandavas. Maharaj Yudhishthira, after hearing from Narada, became ecstatic in love of Krishna, and then Narad Muni left that place and returned to his own place. Thus, Shukdev Goswami, having described various descendants of the daughters of Daksha, ends the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, that was a summary of chapter 15 of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto. Okay, text 1. Okay, 1 minute. Sri Naradu Vacha कर्मनिष्ठा द्विजा केचित् निष्ठा नृपापरे स्वाध्याय अन्ये प्रवचने केचन ज्ञानयोगयो Sri Narada Uvacha, Narada said, Karma Nishtha attached to ritualistic ceremonies according to one's social status as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. Dvijaha, the twice born, especially the Brahmanas, Kechit, Samtapaha, Nishtha, very much attached to austerities and finances. Nipa, Oki, Apare, others, Swadhyaye, studying Vedic literature, Anye, others. Pravachane, delivering speeches on Vedic literature, Kechana, some Jnana Yogayo, inculcating knowledge and practicing Bhakti Yoga. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, K.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Narad Muni continued, My dear king, some Brahmins are very much attached to fruitive activities, some are attached to austerities and finances, and still others study the Vedic literature, whereas some, although very few, cultivate knowledge and practice different yogas, especially bhakti. Jnananishthaya deyani kavyanyānantam ichchata deve cha tadabhave syaditrebhyo yatharhata. Jnana-nisthaya, to the impersonalist or the transcendentalist desiring to merge into the supreme. Deyani, to be given in charity. Kavyani, ingredients offered to the forefathers as oblations. Anantayam, liberation from material bondage. Ichchata, by a person desiring. Daive, the ingredients to be offered to the demigods. Cha, also. Tat abhave, in the absence of such advanced transcendentalists. Syat, it should be done. Itrebhyaha, to others, namely those addicted to future activities, yatha artha, comparatively or with discrimination. A person desiring liberation for his forefathers or himself should give charity to a Brahman who adheres to impersonal monism, Jnana-nishtha. In the absence of such an advanced Brahman, charity may be given to a Brahman addicted to future activities, karma, kanda. Okay. So, one second. Okay. So, the first sloka speaks about different grades of Brahmanas. Okay. So, like Prabhupada already cleared that in the summary, that first Brahmanas who are, what the first sloka is saying, some Brahmanas are very much attached to fruitive activities. So they are Brahmanas Grahastha. Some are attached to austerities and finances. Brahmanas Vanprastha. And still others study the Vedic literature. So Brahmanas Brahmachari. And all the very few cultivate knowledge and practice different yoga, especially the Brahmanas who are sannyasi. Okay. So among the Brahman, so these are four categories. Among the Brahmanas, there are gradations. The householder fixed in karma. So the householder who is Brahmana and fixed in fruitive activities like karma kanda, they are called Vipra. And when he is fixed in austerity, he is Vanprastha. When he is fixed in study and teaching, he is studying Vedic literature and then teaching to others, that is Brahmachari. And when he is engaged in yoga, bhakti yoga, they are sannyasi. Okay, so here the word nishtha is there. Nishtha should be understood to be included with each phrase. The later are supi. So this is their nishtha. As per the level of their nishtha, these four gradations of Brahmanas are there. Okay. Now, in the purport of text 2, Prabhupada is saying that there are two processes by which to get free from material bondage. One process involves Jnana Kanda and other Karma Kanda, and the other involves Upasana Kanda. So Vaishnavas never want to merge into the existence of the Supreme. Rather, they want to be everlastingly servants of the Lord to render loving service unto Him. In this verse, the words Anantam Ichhata refers to persons who desire to achieve liberation from material bondage and merge into existence of the Lord. Devotees, however, whose objective is to associate personally with the Lord, have no desire to accept the activities of Karma Kanda or Jnana Kanda. For pure devotional service is above both Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda. Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Okay, in pure devotional service, there is not even a pinch of Jnana and Karma. Consequently, when Vaishnavas distribute charity, they do not need to find a Brahmana performing the activities of Jnana, Kanda, or Karma. The best example in this regard to provide by provided by Advaita Goswami, who, after performing the Shraddha ceremony for his father, offered charity to Haridas Thakur. Although it was known to everyone that Haridas Thakur was born in a Mohammedan family, not a Brahman family, and was not interested in the activities of Jnana Kanda. So Vaishnavas will not search, oh, he is a Jnana Kanda Brahman or Karma Kandi Brahman, so go and search them and give charity to them. No, he will not. Advaita Acharya was not giving charity after Shraddha ceremony. He was not giving charity to them. He was giving to Haridas Thakur. Even though Haridas Thakur is not a Brahman, he is not a Jnana Kandi or Karma Kandi Brahman. He is a Mohammedan actually. But he will go and give charity to you. Why? Because he is pure. Okay. Because yes, last chapter we had now Patra means whom to charity should be given. So these kind of things are there. Gyan Kandi Brahman or this thing, Karma Kandi. So charity therefore should be given to the first class transcendentalists, the devotees. Because the Shastras recommend Muktanam api Siddhanam Narayana Parayana Sudurlabha Prashantatma Kotishya api Mahamuni. O great sage, among many millions who are liberated, Muktanam api Siddhanam, and perfect in knowledge of liberation, one may be a devotee of Lord Narayan or Krishna. Such devotee who are fully peaceful are extremely rare. Sudurlabha Prashantatma, who is very peaceful. Narayan Parayana, among many millions of Muktanam means liberated personality, and Siddhana means perfected in knowledge. Many. Finding in Narayan Parayana, a devotee of Krishna or Narayan. And what is his characteristics? He is Prashantatma. He is peaceful always. What is that? Sudurlava. That is very extremely rare. Okay. Finding a pure devotee of Krishna is very rare. A Vaishnava is in a higher position than a Jnani. Okay. Vaishnava is higher. And therefore, the Acharya selected Haridas Thakur to be the person to accept his charity. So one may not think, he is a Mohammedan, he is low class, Sudra, how can I give him charity? Charity should be given to Brahmin. So that's not the point. Charity should be given to a transcendental, a devotee of Krishna. That is the best class charity. Now you don't even have to see whether he is a Sudra or Mohammedan or what. That's why Advaita Acharya will go and give charity to Haridas Thakur. Okay. The Supreme Lord also says, Name Bhakta Shaturvedi Mad Bhakta Swapacha Priya. Wonderful. Name bhaktas chaturvedi madbhakta swapachah priyaha tasmai deyam tato grahayam sacha pujya yata hi aham. Even though a person is very learned scholar of the Sanskrit Vedic literatures, who is he? Chaturvedi. You go to North India, you will find these kind of surnames. Trivedi, Duvedi, Chaturvedi means they know all the four Vedas. Trivedi means they know three Vedas. Duvedi means they know two Vedas, like that. So Krishna is saying, even though a person is a very learned scholar of the Sanskrit Vedic literatures, he is not accepted as my devotee. You know all the Vedas, okay, very nice. But he is not accepted as my devotee unless he is pure in devotional service. Unless he comes to bhakti and becomes pure, he is not my devotee. Okay. These kind of sentences from Shastras become problem for so-called Brahmanas who are making a show of their Brahmana system, and they are posing that I am Brahman, but they are not, and they are caste Brahmins. By birth, they have taken a Brahman name, but they are not having qualifications. So for them, these kind of things become problem. So they don't talk about this. They hide these kind of verses. But Prabhupada brought these verses in front of everyone, and that's why many Brahmins that time were against Srila Prabhupada, and they were putting FIR against Srila Prabhupada in order to stop ISKCON. Till now it is going on. People want to stop ISKCON. Why? Because ISKCON is revealing these kind of secrets of Shastras. So their business is getting closed in problem. Okay. So Krishna is saying that even a person may know all the four Vedas, but if he is not doing my bhakti, he is not, and he is not, after doing my bhakti, he is not becoming pure, he is not my devotee, he is not accepted as my devotee. Okay. However, even though a person is born in a family of dog eaters, Madhvakta Swapachapriya, even if my devotee, a person who is born in a family of dog eaters, Chandalas, very low class, even if he is born in Chandala family, he is very dear to me if he is a pure devotee. Even no problem. Let him be take birth in any low class family, Chandal family. There is no one lower than Chandal. Chandal's dog eaters are the lowest class. So Krishna is saying, even though he is born in the lowest of all the classes, dog eaters, he is very dear to me. When? If he is a pure devotee who has no motive to enjoy fruitive activity or mental state. If he is just with pure heart serving me without having any material desire of any other benefit, he's just serving me, he is very dear to me. Okay. You understand the value of devotional service now. Okay, devotional service with pure intention is very much important. So much uh, scholarship or other things are not important. Yoga, tapasya, jnana, karma, all those things are not important. What is important? Pure devotional service with pure intention. Okay? Anya vilashta shunyam, jnana karma dinavidam, anukulena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. That is pure bhakti. Okay? So, doing Shravanam Kirtanam with pure intention, just to please Krishna. In that way, we will become very dear to Krishna. Okay. Despite of our low grade birth or our previous karmas or our previous sinful activities, despite of all those things, just stop all those nonsense and start doing Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam with pure intention, with pure heart. Okay. So, indeed, all respect should be given to him. Krishna is saying, for that kind of person who may be born in the Chandala dog eaters family, but he is my pure devotee, so he is very dear to me, and that kind of person should be offered all the respect. All respect should be given to him, and whatever he offers should be accepted. Okay, such devotees are as worshipable as I am, and they should be worshipped as me only. Okay, so therefore, even if not born in a Brahmin family, a devotee, because of his devotion to the Lord, is above all kinds of Brahmanas, whether they be Karmakandis or Jnana. So this is the problem with modern Brahmins, because he is born in low class, and Prabhupada is saying that even he is born in a low class, but if he is pure devotee, he is above all kinds of Brahmins. He is above all kinds of Brahmins. So this is the glories of pure bhakti. Okay, and that is why these so-called Brahmins, they don't want to show these kind of shlokas from Shastra. Okay, otherwise their shop will be closed now. Nobody will go to, because they don't want to do any austerity, they don't want to do any bhakti, they just want, because I'm born in this Brahman family, I am Brahman. That's it. And take all the respect, all the charity. No. Okay, in this regard, it may be mentioned that Brahmanas in Vrindavan who are Karmakandis and Gyankandis sometimes decline to accept invitation to our temple, because our temple is known as Angreji temple or Anglican temple. Till now, ISKCON temple in Vrindavan is called Angrej Mandir. They say this is not temple for Hindus, this is for foreigners. They call it Angrej Mandir. Because these Gyan Candies and Karm Candies, Brahman, till now they don't accept ISKCON as a proper thing. Because they think here any low class person who born in a low family, they are giving him Diksha and making him Brahman. So this is again, it is not against Shastras, but it is against their ulterior motives. Okay, they cannot cheat now people, na? Some ISKCON has come to give them a pure process to the public, and now their cheating is stopped. Na? So they are against, but in accordance with the evidence given in the Shastra. So we are not doing anything just like that. Everything is evidence given in Shastra, and the example set by Advaita Acharya. We give prasad to devotees regardless of whether they come from India, Europe, or America. We do not care whether he is Hindu, Muslim, Indian, American, Shudra, Brahmana, whoever they may be. We are simply giving them prasadam, dancing with them, chanting with them. No discrimination. Okay. It is the conclusion of the Shastra that instead of feeding many Gyan Kandi or Karma Kandi Brahmanas, it is better to feed a pure Vaishnava regardless of where he comes from. Okay. He may be from any family or any country, but if he is a pure devotee, you should feed him prasad. And it is better than feeding to these so-called Gyanis, Karmis, and those all Brahmanas. Okay. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada is not speaking something just like that. He is giving quote shloka for everything. Api chet suduracharo bhajate ma mananyavak sadur eva samantavya samyak vyavasito. Even if one commits the most abominable actions, this is Krishna himself speaking. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in bhakti, in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated. Thus, it doesn't matter whether a devotee comes from a Brahman family or non-Brahman family. If he is fully devoted to Krishna, he is sadhu. Okay. So we should not see, he is son of Brahman or he is not, and give respect in that. No. See who is devotee, who is doing bhakti properly. Okay. That's the idea. Okay. Text 3. Okay, today is Sunday, so we will do it till 10 o'clock. Okay. Saturday, Sunday we are doing 8 to 10. Other days we are doing 1 hour, 8 to 9. So today Sunday,